So we think of magnetism. So magnetism means generally we used to think of a bar magnet. Initially, we used to think of a bar magnet. So bar magnet means I'm taking a rectangular bar magnet. In this way, we are taking rectangular bar magnet, and this is we will say south pole, and this is the north pole, and we will take this is the center of the bar magnet. So from the center of the bar magnet, the south pole is at a distance, let us say small l, and the north pole is also at some small distance, small l. So here we will take up geometric length and as well as magnetic length. So we used to take this is the geometric length. So geometric length means the length which is measured by using a scale, and the magnetic length means it is the exact distance between the south pole and north pole. So this is magnetic length. This is magnetic length. So that means from the observation we will say that the south pole and north pole of a magnet may not existed at the ends, may not existed at the ends. They are at some equal distances. They are at some equal distances from their ends. So that is we are taking it as. So simply first we will consider the bar magnet. For the bar magnet we are taking magnetic length. Magnetic length is nothing but 2L. So the geometric length means the length of the bar magnet measured by using a scale. So generally from the practicals we will observe that. So the magnetic length equivalent to 5/6 in times of geometric length. So this is 5/6 times of geometric length. Magnetic length 12 equal to 5/6 times that of geometric length we are taking. And here from the figure also we will say that we have another relation, geometric length equal to magnetic length plus 2x, where x is the distance from one end of the magnet. X is the distance from one end of the magnet to the respective pole. We are taking. So to the respective pole we have been to. So this is about a bar magnet and their respective poles we are taking. So first, before starting the magnetism basics, so first we will define what do you mean by a pole, and we will start from the beginning. So first we are taking pole. So pole nothing but it is a point or it is a position. It is a position where its entire magnetic nature, where its entire magnetic nature, is said to be concentrated. So that means it has its attracting sense or repulsing sense. So that is said to be focused at a particular point. So we are calling that point as pole. For example, in the present example we are taking, this is the south pole and this is the north pole. Its magnetic nature is entirely focused at this point and as well as this point. So we are calling that as pole, and its ability. So this attracting or repelling ability, attracting or repelling ability. This attracting or repelling ability measured in terms of pole strength. Measured in terms of pole strength. So pole strength symbol is small m. So pole strength symbol is small m. And we are taking that the pole strength small m is always proportional to area of cross section. Area of cross section. Small m is proportional to capital A. Capital A means area of cross section. So we are taking area of cross section. So that means, for example, I'm taking this is a bar magnet. This is a bar magnet of magnetic moment M, and this is of area of cross section A. So in the future, we are going to do problems like this. Suppose if the bar magnet is made into two equal parts, parallel to its length, two equal parts. So then simply we will understand that the small pieces having A by 2 area and this is having A by 2 area. So therefore its pole strength is A by 2 and its pole strength is also M by 2. So when these two are having equal areas A by 2 and A by 2, so we are their respective pole strengths are M by 2 and M by 2, where M is the original pole strength. M is the original pole strength. M is the original pole strength we are taking. For example, I will take another example. So then you will get clarity. I'm taking another bar magnet of area of cross section A. Suppose if you made into two equal halves perpendicular to its length. So then for the splitted parts, we are assuming the area of cross section remains as constant. So therefore, the pole strength also remains as constant for the individual parts. So this is about pole strength, and pole strength M is a scalar. Pole strength small m is a scalar. Pole strength M is a scalar. It have units. It have units ampere into meter. It have units ampere into meter, and dimensional formula I into L. Ampere into meter, and its dimensional formula is I into L. I means electric current, and electric current we will measure in the terms of amperes, and we will length measure in the terms of meters. Or it can be taken as m power 0, L power 1, P power 0, I power 1. So this will be the dimensional formula of pole strength. Next, we used to take magnetic moment. Magnetic moment, capital M. Magnetic moment, capital M. So magnetic moment, capital M means it is a vector. It is defined as magnetic moment equivalent. It is the product of magnetic length into pole strength. Magnetic length into pole strength. So magnetic length is nothing but this is equivalent to 2L. 2L into pole strength is nothing but small m. So this is a vector technically, m bar equivalent to 2L bar into m. So here we will take this is the magnetic moment, m is the magnetic moment, and 2L is magnetic length. 2L is magnetic length, and small m is pole strength. Small m is pole strength. M bar equivalent to 2L bar into. Now we are writing its units. Units is nothing but so for the 2L we are having meters. For pole strength we are having ampere meter. So therefore units is ampere into meter square. And we will write the dimensional formula as for ampere we are taking I, and for meter we are taking L square. So therefore m power 0, L square, P power 0, and I power 1 we are having. This will be the dimensional formula of magnetic moment. So here the most important part is its direction. The most important part is its direction. So the direction of magnetic moment the direction of magnetic moment we are taking, the direction of magnetic moment m bar is always from south pole to north pole, S to N. S to N means south pole to north pole. For example, if we take a bar magnet like this, bar magnet like this. So this is the south pole and this is the north pole. This is the center of the magnet O. We know this length is L and this length is also L. So the direction of magnetic moment is from S to N. So this will be the direction of M bar. Next, we have a discussion when a magnetic wire, when a magnetic wire of magnetic moment, for our convenience, we are changing the notation. My, it has a magnetic moment. My is bent into arc of angle theta. Arc of angle theta. Then its new magnetic moment. Then its new magnetic moment. Then its new magnetic moment. So actually, we are going to prove this as m arc equivalent to m wire into sin theta by 2 sin theta by 2 by theta by 2 m arc equivalent to m wire into sin theta by 2 by theta by 2. So now we are going to prove this. For example, we have a wire initially. Okay, we have a wire. Now the wire is bent in the form of a arc. Now the wire is bent in the form of arc. For example, this is the respective center. This is O. So we are taking, this is the radius of curvature R, and if the ends of the arc make the total angle as theta, so therefore these two small parts make an angle theta by 2 and theta by 2. This is the O we are taking, and this is the Y and this is the Y. So first we are taking the length of the arc. So the length of the arc, so that is 2L equivalent to R into theta. Because we are taking, this is the length of the 2L equivalent to R theta, and R is equivalent to 2L by theta. But actually, before converting this into R, so we are taking the original length, the effective length that equivalent to 2y. The effective length means the distance between north poles and south poles. 2y, that is equivalent to, we are taking 2r into sin theta by 2, or that equivalent to 2 into r means 12 by theta into sin theta by 2. And when it turned as a arc, generally the formula for magnetic moment is pole strength into effective magnetic length. So that is 2y. So we are taking 2 into 2l by theta into sin theta by 2 into small m. Or we will take 2lm into sin theta by 2 by theta by 2. Or we will write m arc equivalent to m wide into sin theta by 2, m wide sin theta by 2 by theta by 2. So finally, we remain with m arc equivalent to m wide into sin theta by 2 by theta by 2. M arc equivalent to m wide into sin theta by 2 by theta by 2. So this is the formula for the magnetic moment. Suppose if the magnet bent as semicircle, if the magnet bent as semicircle, then we will take theta equivalent to phi in our desired formula. Suppose we use MR equivalent to M wide into sine theta by 2 by theta by 2. So this is the question. So if the magnet of magnetic moment, let us say M. So magnet means this is we usually treat it as y. M wide equivalent to M into sine theta means phi, angle is 180 by 2 by pi by 2. So that equivalent to M into sine 90 by 2 by pi. So finally we get 2m by pi as the, so this is one. MR equivalent to 2m by pi we will get. And the upcoming are very important. Finding the resultant magnetic moment. Resultant magnetic moment. So resultant magnetic. For example, I'm taking two bar magnets. Suppose these are two bar magnets we are taking. So this is S to N. So in this way we are having magnetic moment for the one magnet, and this is S to N. This is magnetic moment for the another magnet M2. And between M1 and M2 we have the angle theta. Or we will easily convert it as this is the M1 and this is the M2 and this is the theta. Resultant means always the vector resultant means addition. Addition we are taking. So now we will get the resultant as let us say M dash. So this is similar to the vector addition, r equal to root over p square plus q square plus 2p cos theta. So therefore m dash equivalent to, so simply we will write root over m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 into cos theta. 2m1 into cos theta. So this is the case actually when like poles in contact. When like poles in contact. So you need to construct the diagram when like poles in contact. Suppose I am taking south pole is in contact with south pole. So we will get the resultant as like this. M dash equal to root over m1 square plus m2 square plus 2m1 into cos theta. Suppose in the same question, if m1 equivalent to m2, so that is given as m. So this will be treated as addition of equal vectors. We have a shortcut for the addition of equal vectors, r equal to 2p into cos theta by 2. So similarly, we will get m dash is equivalent to 2 into, so p means one of the vectors, that is m, 2m into cos theta by 2. So this is one of the important expression we need, m dash equivalent to 2m into cos theta. For example, whenever unlike poles in contact, suppose I am taking when unlike poles of two magnets are in contact. When unlike poles are in contact. So, for example, I am taking the this is a bar magnet. So this is a bar magnet of south pole and the north pole, and this is another bar magnet. Unlike poles means I am taking this is north and this is south. First, you need to construct the directions of M1 and M2. So let us say this is S to N means this is magnetic moment M1, and this is S to N. This is magnetic moment M2. And now this is given as theta. So again, for our reference, we are constructing the vectorial diagram. This is M1 and this will be M2. This will be M2. So I'm extending the directions of M2. So then this is the theta. Obviously, this angle is going to be 180 minus theta. So this is M2. So next, we are taking the resultant. So if this is M1, M2, somewhere in this plane we are having M dash, that is the resultant. M dash equivalent to, we will write root over M1 square plus M2 square plus 2m1 m2 cos of 180 minus theta. Cos of 180 minus theta means minus cos theta we are going to have. So that equal to root over m1 square plus m2 square minus 2m1 m2 cos theta. Minus 2m1 m2 cos theta. So that is their resultant. Suppose in the same discussion, if you are taking, if m1 is equivalent to m2 is equivalent to n, m1 equivalent to m2 equivalent to n. So we are taking the subtraction of vectors m dash equivalent to 2m into sin theta by 2. Because we have a shortcut for the subtraction, subtraction of two equal vectors equal to s equivalent to 2p sin theta by 2. So these two things are very important while we are doing problems in electrostatics or in magnetism as well as vectors. Suppose we are taking similar discussions. We have been taking two magnets such that they're like poles in contact, S and S in contact, M and N. So this is M1 and this is M2. So when this will be the case, theta equivalent to 0, so M dash equivalent to we get M1 plus M2. So when the like poles are in contact, we will get the maximum result. For example, so I'm taking the discussion. So this is south pole and this is north pole, and this is south and this is north. So this is M1, this is M1 and this is M2. When they're opposite to each other, theta equivalent to 180 degrees we are taking. M dash equivalent to we will get M1 minus M2. Just we will substitute in the formula M dash equivalent to root over M1 square plus M2 square plus 2M1 M2 cos theta. So in the formula we are substituting and we will get the result. So next one we are taking when two magnets are perpendicular to each other. So this is very important in this case when two magnets are perpendicular to each other. When two magnets are perpendicular to each other. So then when this will be the case, so here we are taking this is a bar magnet, and it is perpendicular to another bar magnet. So we have been thinking of different possibilities, maybe in the shape of T, suppose if we are having, and maybe in the shape of L we are having. So in whatever may be the case, the solution is same. Suppose this is S1 and S1, and this is S2 and N2. Always think of magnetic moment direction, that is S1 to N1, S2 to N2. So this is M1 and this is M2. Both are perpendicular to here. So S1 and N1 we are taking. This is the magnetic moment of M1 we are taking. And this is S2 to N2. And this is M2. Here also M1 and M2 are perpendicular to each other. This is S1 and this is N1. And this is S2 and this is N2. So in this way we are taking this is M2 direction and this is M1 direction. In every case, in every possible case, they are perpendicular to each other. Theta equal to 90 degrees means finally we have the resultant of two perpendicular vectors are equal to root over p square plus q square. So that equal to root over m1 square plus m2 square. In this way, so and one more discussion we are taking. If the three magnets, for example, the three magnets, form a closed polygon. Like a triangular square, like a triangle we are taking or square with unlike poles in contact. Unlike poles in contact. at each other at corners. Then the resultant magnetic moment. Then the resultant magnetic moment capital M is equivalent to 0. So that means, for example, I'm taking these are the three magnets. So we are taking the three magnets. So we are taking the three magnets. They are in the form of a maybe in the form of an equilateral triangle. Their unlike poles are in contact. This is S and this is N and this is S and this is N. Whenever this will be the scenario we are having, suppose if they have equal magnetic moments, S to N is magnetic moment M and S to N is magnetic moment M. When they are continuous, it is very similar to it is equivalent to the mechanics case. When equal forces are acting on the body in the form of a polygon, we will say that is the triangle of equilibrium. So simply we will take m dash equivalent to 0. ఇది మనకు లామిస్ థీరం లో ఉంటుంది. ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ లో మనం చదువుతాం. For example, if we have three forces which are represented by the adjacent sides of a closed polygon, so then the net force equivalent to 0. ఒకవేళ ఇక్కడ అర్థం కాకపోయినా స్క్వేర్ ది చూస్తే మనకి ఈజీగా తెలుస్తుంది. For example, I am taking 4 bar magnets, so they are making or they are in the form of a square, let us say. They are in the form of a square. So this is S and this is N and this is S and this is N and this is S and this is N and this is S and this is N. Such that unlike poles are in contact. I'm taking this is capital N and this is also capital M, always from south pole to north pole. This is capital N and this is capital M. So from here it is clear that this M and this M gets cancelled with each other. This M and this M gets cancelled with each other. So finally we will get the resultant magnetic moment equivalent to 0. And that's equivalent to 0 we are taking. And that's equivalent to 0. Suppose in the same case, if one magnet is reversed, if pole of one magnet is reversed, so that means we are taking 3 bar magnets in the form of an equilateral triangle. So this is one magnet and this is another magnet. So this is S N. So here we are changing the poles. This is N and S, and again this is N and this is N and S. So in this case, let us see what. For example, here the magnetic moment is S to N, this is M, and here the magnetic moment is M, and here the magnetic moment is this is S to N, this is M. Okay, in this case, so we will take the vector resultant of this possibility. So generally, I'm taking in the form of vectors. This is magnetic moment N, and this is magnetic moment N. This is magnetic moment N. This is magnetic moment N. So in this case, so the resultant we are taking. So for this one, we are taking another magnet like this. So this is magnetic moment M. So these are the three possibilities. So first I am choosing the resultant, this resultant of these 1 and 2. Suppose I am taking this is 1 and this is 2. So for our convenience, we are extending like this. For our convenience, we are extending like this. This is capital M, this is capital M, and this is capital M we are taking. This is capital M and this is capital M. So this is the resultant we are taking. This is equivalent to the resultant. So let us take M and M. They are making an angle. They are making an angle 60 degrees. They are making an angle 60 degrees we are taking. So we get M dash equivalent to, we are taking the resultant of these two only. Addition of two equal vectors, 2m into cos of 60 by 2. So that equal to 2m into cos 30 means root 3m we are having. And also in addition to this, we are having the bottom one, that is m. So finally, this root 3m and m are perpendicular to each other. So then we are taking m resultant as m are equivalent to root of root 3m whole square plus m square. So finally, we will get the resultant as.
Okay, sir.
Next, for example, if we have a discussion when a bar magnet of magnetic moment is made into two equal parts, and one part bent in the form of semicircle, and as shown in figure. Suppose I am taking a bar magnet. So let us take, this is a bar magnet of magnetic moment here. Now we are making into two equal parts. So therefore we will get, this is m by 2 and this is also equivalent to m by 2. Because clearly we can see that the magnetic length becomes half. So and also we know that magnetic length equivalent to 2L into m. As the length becomes half, so individual parts becomes m by 2 and by 2. Now what we are doing is, so first we are converting the first part into semicircular arc, and we are keeping the second part as it is. So this is of m by 2, and for this arc you need to find out. Suppose I am writing the formula m arc equivalent to m wire into sine theta by 2 by theta by 2. M wire is nothing but m by 2. So we are calling this as the wire. We are assuming this as the wire. M wire into sine theta is pi by 2 by pi by 2. So finally we have m by pi. So here the most important thing is, at the point of bending or breaking, we have the existence of opposite poles. So this is very important. At the point of bending or breaking, opposite poles are created. opposite poles are created. Opposite poles are created. So this is very, very important point. So that means actually you are bending right here. So I'm here showing this is S and this is N. So this is the point of breaking. So automatically we have the existence of opposite poles. So that is my intention. So here we will say that suppose I'm taking this S2N as the first bar magnet M1 and this S2N is the second bar magnet M2. And the M1 and M2 are collinear with each other. Therefore M dash equivalent to we are taking M1 plus M2. So M1 is nothing but this is N by pi and the M2 is nothing but this is N by 2. So magnetic field. So first we used to think of magnetic field. Magnetic field means suppose if you take this is the bar magnet and this is the north pole and this is the south pole. Up to some region only, it is able to attract the pieces of iron. So the region around which its influence is felt is known as magnetic field. Up to some region only it is valid. So we are taking the space around the magnetic, the space around the magnet where its influence can be felt, where its influence can be felt is known as magnetic field. Is known as magnetic field. So here we are taking that the magnetic field line, the magnetic field line is an imaginary path, in which a unit north pole moves in magnetic field. So that means suppose if I'm trying to imagine a lines of force like this, so which is originated from north and which is moving towards south. So that line is treated as the path of, it is the path of unit north pole. This is very, very important. So in understanding the basics of magnetism. So that means always the line of force is the path of unit north pole. Similarly, in the case of electrostatics, we will study that the electric lines of force is nothing but the path of positive charged particle. We are taking. And this magnetic field lines always originate from north pole, and they will meet the magnet at south pole. They will meet the magnet at south pole. South pole outside. So that means, for example, this is the bar magnet we are taking. So this is the north pole and this is the south pole. Generally here the rule is always the lines of force will originate from north pole and they will end at south pole. So this is the outside the magnet. This is the scenario outside. But when we think of inside, they will move from south pole to north pole. Inside the magnet, the lines of force will move from south pole to north pole. So this is very important. So finally, what we are getting is hence the magnetic lines of force. Magnetic lines of force will form closed curves. Will form closed curves. So whereas the electric lines of force are open curves, and the most important point is tangent drawn. Tangent drawn at any point. Tangent drawn at any point represents the direction of B bar, magnetic field intensity. So suppose I am taking this is the line of force. This is a line of force. So in the line of force, we are originating a vector. We are taking a vector. So tangentially, you are taking a direction. The direction represents the magnetic field direction. So that will represent the direction of magnetic field. Up to now, simply you can study it as so direction of magnetic field. So later we will understand what do you mean by B bar. సో మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ తీసుకుంటాం అంటే టాంజెన్షియల్ గా మనం ఒక పాత్ కనుక గీస్తే అది బీ బార్ డైరెక్షన్ వస్తుంది అండ్ దీస్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆర్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇన్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ది అప్కమింగ్ టాపిక్ ఇన్ ది కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ టూ మ్యాగ్నెటిక్ ఫీల్డ్స్ in the combination of two magnetic fields if there is no lines of force such points are called as null points or neutral points. Null points or we will say those points as neutral points. So that means for example we have two fields, let us say B1 bar in this way and B2 bar in this way, and we know that their magnitudes are equal. B1 is equivalent to B2. So in that case the net magnetic field is equivalent to 0. So when the net magnetic field is equivalent to 0, therefore there is no lines of force. And we will take that if field lines are crowded or denser, for example this is a point that if we see more number of lines of force, so we will say that the magnetic field intensity is more, the magnetic field induction is more. Suppose if the field lines are spread apart, so they are deviated like this, so means here the B is relatively less in comparison to the first, and here the lines of force pass through magnetic substance. This is very, very important. Just I am taking a simple comparison. Whereas the electric lines of force do not pass through the substance. So you need to keep this in mind while studying electric. And the properties are again I am taking. These are very, very important in understanding the basics of electrostatics and as well moving charges and magnetism. Suppose if the magnetic field lines are equal, are equally spaced, if the magnetic field lines are equally spaced, then the field is uniform. The field is uniform. The same thing is also applicable for electric field also. For example, I am taking the lines of force which are parallel to each other and equally spaced. So that means wherever the position you take A, B, and C, so we will say that BA equivalent to magnetic field at B is equivalent to magnetic field at any point we are having. If the magnetic field is not equally spaced, we will call that as a non-uniform magnetic field. Non-uniform magnetic field. Suppose in this way we are having, in this way we are having from a pole. So let us take this is a north pole. So this is an example of non-uniform magnetic field. The non-uniform magnetic field. And this is an example of uniform magnetic field. So that we need to understand. And here we used to think of Coulomb's law, Coulomb inverse square law. Coulomb inverse square law. Yeah. Coulomb inverse square law. For example, I'm taking two poles. So this is M1 and this is M2. Two poles having positions M1 and M2. They are separated by different r. Then the force of interaction between them is F equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into M1 M2 by r square. So we will take mu naught as permeability of free space. Nothing but air or space. And here M1 comma M2 are the respective pole strength. So this formula is similar. This formula is very similar to your electrostatics. So simply I am taking a comparison. F equivalent to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. Or also this is also similar to your gravitation. F is equal to G into M1 M2 by r square. So you need to understand that this here M1 M2 we used to call as masses. Okay, instead of pole strength, in some other topic we will take some charge, and instead of that one we are taking mass. So that is the only difference. And small m means we are taking pole strength. Small q means this is the charge, and capital M means this is the mass we are taking. And also similarly, we have the common terms between their respective constants. Mu naught by 4 pi and replace it by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught in the chapter electrostatics, and it is replaced by G. And we know epsilon naught is nothing but permittivity. Epsilon naught is nothing but permittivity. So slowly we will discuss about the magnetic field induction. It has many names. So one is magnetic field induction, or induction field strength, or induction field strength, or magnetic flux density, So it has many names. We can call it as magnetic field induction, or induction field strength, or magnetic flux density. Simply, it is defined as it is the force experienced by unit north pole. It is the force experienced by unit north pole placed in a magnetic field. placed in a magnetic field. For example, we are taking this is a north pole and this is unit north pole. This is unit north pole. So it is having a pole strength here. So now we are discussing the force of interaction between them according to Coulomb's law, mu naught by 4 pi into m1 into m2 by r square. So you are calling this force as B right now. F is equivalent to, we will take mu naught by 4 pi into m by r square. So dimensionally, according to dimensions, so we are taking F is equivalent to mb. F equivalent to mb. Or simply we can understand that in the formula F equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into m1 m2 by r square. We are taking m2 as m, and B is nothing but the magnetic field induced by a small point bar magnet mu naught by 4 pi into m1 by r square. So F is equivalent to mb. This is very important. And these directions are very important. B bar direction is always away from north. Away from north. For the comparison itself, I am taking. So generally, the electric field direction is always away from positive charge. Always away from positive charge. So simply in one word, we will say the magnetism as. So replace the positive charge by north pole and replace the negative charge by south pole. So we will get the clarity. Suppose I am taking north pole. So whenever you come across the north pole, we will write the field directions as away from the north pole. Away from the north pole. And the B bar direction is the B bar direction is towards south pole. B bar direction is towards south pole. So that means while we are thinking of electrostatics, E bar direction is always towards a negative charge. So that means when we think of south, always the lines of force are moving towards south pole. Okay. And now it is the turn for units. We will take CGS unit. So that equivalent to Gauss, and we used to take the SI unit as Tesla. So we have a famous relation between the Gauss and Tesla. 1 Gauss equivalent to 10 power minus 4. So 1 Gauss equivalent to 10 power minus 4. So this is the relation between Gauss and Tesla. And when we think of dimensional formula, so B equivalent to F by M, we will write. For force, we are having MLT power minus 2. Don't get confused. Smaller means pole strength here. Ampere meter. So ampere, if you are taking as I and meter as L. So finally, we will get M into L power 0, T power minus 2, I power minus 1. So in this way, we are having magnetic field. And this is very, 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 very important. So the upcoming is North Pole experience. So you need to understand this. This is very important. North Pole experience force in same direction as that of the So this is very similar to positive charge experience force in the same direction as that of electric field. Both are very similar. So whenever you have a confusion in the magnetism, replace the north pole by positive and replace the south pole by negative. So then you will get more clarity. మరి మన మ్యాగ్నెటిజం నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం కదా, ఇక్కడే ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి అంటే, సో డెఫినెట్లీ ఐ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఐఎమ్ టేకింగ్ ఎ నార్త్ పోల్ హియర్ అండ్ we are taking, this is the direction of theta. Just now we have taken, this is very, very important. So the direction of field is nothing but this is the path of, we assume that this is the path of infinity unit north poles. This is the path of infinity unit north poles. And the direction లో infinity unit north poles వస్తున్నాయి. So simply they will push, they will kick out the north pole. So therefore, so for the north pole, the direction of B bar is same as that of force. అంటే లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫోర్స్ డైరెక్షన్ లో ఇన్ఫినిటీ నార్త్ పోల్స్ వస్తున్నాయి అనుకోండి, ఒక నార్త్ పోల్ ని బ్రహ్మాండంగా పుష్ చేస్తారు, రిపల్ చేస్తారు. సో కాబట్టి బి బార్ డైరెక్షన్, ఎఫ్ బార్ డైరెక్షన్ రెండు సేమ్ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ సో ది సౌత్ పోల్ experience force in opposite direction. The south pole experience the force in opposite direction as that of B, So similarly, this is very similar to negative charge experience a force in opposite direction as that of B. This is known to us, or we will understand it in the terms of magnetism. So let us say this is the direction of magnetic field. We are keeping a south pole here. So what we are assuming is, so in the direction of magnetic field, we are treating infinity unit north poles are coming. Infinity number unit north poles are coming. So they simply attract the south pole to the left side. So that means in the directions of force and magnetic field are opposite to each other in this case. Next, so we will do some basic models here. Suppose I am having north pole and north pole. They are at the vertices of an equilateral triangle. So the question is, find the net magnetic field equivalent to how much? B equivalent to how much? Ft. So simply we will write the lines of force. They will originate from north pole. This is the direction of magnetic field. The lines of force, they will originate from north pole. This is the magnetic field. And this angle equivalent to 60 degrees. And therefore, we will have the resultant as the angular bisector. This will be the B dash or BP. So because of addition, we are taking 2B into cos 60 by 2. So 2B cos 60 by 2 means cos 30, we will get root 3B. And if this distance is A, or else we will also write it as root 3 into mu naught by 4 pi into M by S. So in this way we will do. For example, if we are having one is north pole and one is south pole, and find the net magnetic field at the vertices of an equilateral triangle, let us say. So at this session we will say the magnetic field is away from north pole and towards south pole we will say this is a magnetic field. So this angle is 60 degrees. So simply by seeing we will say this is the subtraction of equal vectors. S equal to 2p sin theta by 2. So from that one we are writing 2b into sin 60 by 2. So finally we are going to have p. Finally we are going to have. So in this way we will find out the resultant magnetic field. And if we are taking the poles, For example, if you are taking the poles, the 3 poles at the corners of a square, let us say. So this is a square of side length A. So this is our point of interest where we need to find out the magnetic field. So magnetic field is away, and this magnetic field is away. Let us say this is B and this is B. And let us take, I am taking this as B1. So first I am writing the expression for B equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into m by distance whole square, that is A square. And also we will write the B1 is nothing but mu naught by 4 pi into m by pole strength by distance, means this will become root 2a. So therefore root 2a whole square. By taking the above equation help, we will write so that as B by 2. And clearly we will see that this is the B and this is the B. So the resultant is root 2b in this way. So I'm choosing the resultant of B and B will become root 2b. And we will see clearly the B1 and as well as root 2b in same direction. So therefore the net magnetic field B dash equivalent to B1 plus root 2b. So that equivalent to B by 2 plus root 2b we are taking. Or by substituting the desired values, we will take 2 root 2 plus 1 by 2 into. So B means mu naught by 4 pi into pole strength by distance whole square. Distance whole square means that is A square here. So this is about the net magnetic field. Slowly, we used to think of the magnetic field induction due to axial line and as well as equatorial line. So always remember this topic is very similar to your electrostatic or your gravitation. So just you need to replace the terms. So here I am taking the magnetic field. Also, this is very important for your board exams. Magnetic field is due to axial line of bar magnet. Axial line of bar magnet. So to understand this, first you are constructing a bar magnet. So let us take this is a bar magnet. So as usually we are not taking the poles at the edges, with some separation we are taking. So this is the north pole and this is the south pole, and this is the center O. This is the center O we are taking. So from the center O, we are calculating the distance on the axial line. So first, before discussing everything, we need to understand axial line. Axial line means the line that passes through both the poles. Suppose if I am taking this is north and this is south, so this line is called as axial line. A line which passes through both the poles and as well as center. So at here we are interested in the so first we are taking that. So this is L, and automatically this length is also is L. And this distance we are already calculated this as. Okay. So first I am taking here the magnetic field. So let us take this is a point P. At the point P, we are taking the magnetic field due to North Pole. So when we think of only North Pole, the magnetic field is away. So therefore BN is towards right side. And when only we think of South Pole, the magnetic field is towards, according to our previous basics we are taking. So we will use both of them. So BN lies in this way and BS lies in opposite way. So first we are taking BN, magnetic field due to North Pole. So in the terms of vectors, it is very convenient. Mu naught by 4 pi into pole strength by distance. So from the North Pole, the distance to the observation point is clearly visible as D plus L whole square. As it is North Pole direction is away in the positive X direction, I am taking it as. Similarly, we will take BS bar equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into X pole strength M by their respective distance. So we know the total distance is D. This total distance is D, but this is L. So the respective distance from south pole to observation point is, it becomes d minus L. So that's why we are taking this as d minus L. As it is towards left side, we will take minus I cap. So simply by taking the B bar equivalent to Bn bar plus Bs bar, by adding these two, so we are going to get mu naught by 4 pi into 2 into 2Lm into d by d square minus L square, d square minus whole square into minus I cap here. Because we will see that the south pole distance is very less. So as the distance is less, already we seen B is proportional to 1 by distance square. As the south pole distance is less, so we have more magnetic field for the south pole. The more magnetic field for the south pole. Or finally, we will call it as B axial bar equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 into 2Lm means magnetic moment 2md by d square minus L square whole square. So we are taking minus I cap, or we are changing the minus I cap is from south to north. You are taking the direction from south to north. From south to north we are taking. So again, for your convenience, I am taking. So this is south. Let us take this is south pole and this is the north pole. This is the south pole and this is the north pole. So then we are taking the biaxial direction, as from south to north. So that is the reason why the magnetic moment. So from south to north we are taking from south to north. So that is the reason why we will take the magnetic moment also same. So because you can see B bar is a vector and M bar is a vector. M bar is a vector. So both have same direction. Both should to have same direction. అందుకోసమే magnetic moment direction ఇందాక మనం ఇస్తే రాస్తాం ఎందుకని biaxial direction లో ఉంది magnetic moment ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి. So this is generally for long bar magnet we used to say. So this is the relation, or this relation we used to always think of for long bar magnet. So this is for long bar magnet. This is for long bar magnet we will take. Suppose if you take the same scenario for short bar magnet, for short magnet, we will say that L is less than D. So then therefore by taking L square, it can be comparable to 0. In comparison with D square. So therefore we are going to get the B axial equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into 2md by d square minus 0 whole square. So finally we get B axial direction is B axial equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by d. So this is very important and famous. So B axial equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into 2m by d. And we will do some problems. For example, so this is a bar magnet. So this is a bar magnet. This is south pole and this is north pole. So from the center, we can observing the point P. So imagine this as a square. So where we have another bar magnet. So let us take this is the south and north. Our intention is we need to calculate the magnetic field at P. We need to calculate the magnetic field at P. So we will take, so this is the first magnet and this is the second magnet, S to N. So that means in this direction we are taking V1. Because the observation point is on the along the axial line, we are taking S3. And for the second magnet, the observation point is on equatorial. So therefore, N to S we will take. So therefore, we will take the B2. So similarly, we will take B1 bar equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into 2 M1 by, distance is same. Let us say these are the vertices. We are at the vertices of a square. Mu naught by 4 pi into 2 M1 by D cube. Right side means I cap we are taking. So B2 bar equivalent to mu naught by 4 pi into, this is for equatorial line. So M2 by D cube into minus 8. So if you need the total resultant, vector resultant, simply we will add these two. B bar equivalent to B1 bar plus B2 bar. And I'm taking another model. For example, we have two bar magnets. So this is one bar magnet here. And this will be another bar magnet. This will be another bar magnet. So let us take it is having a magnetic moment N1 and it is having a magnetic moment N2. Suppose I am taking this is the south, north, and this is north, south. Suppose if these two magnets are at the vertices of a square, they are at the vertices of a square of side length D. So this will be the observation point we need to understand. This observation point lie down the axial line, so therefore this is the D1, and this observation point lie down equatorial line. So equatorial line means with respect to second magnet it is N to S. So that is B2. So the net magnetic field B bar equivalent to, we will say B1 bar plus B2 bar. B1 bar plus B2 bar. So here we will write B1 bar and B2 bar as mu naught by 4 pi into B1 bar means axial line 2M1 by D cube, let us say, into I cap. Plus B2 bar means mu naught by 4 pi into, for that case we are taking equatorial line, so M2 by D cube into I cap. Both lied in same direction. So next one we are taking, for example, we are taking two bar magnets. They are perpendicular to each other. They are perpendicular to each other, and they are at the vertices of a square. Let us say they are at the vertices of a square. They are at the vertices of a square. So this is the first one and this is the second one. It is having magnetic moment M1 and it is having magnetic moment. So for this one we are taking, this is axial line. Suppose this is south and this is north. According to the data we are doing, this is south and this is north. Let us say. From S to N, this is M1, this is axial line. So therefore B1 bar will be like this. So S to N we are having. So this is also axial line B2. So both are axial lines. So therefore we are taking the resultant equivalent to, they are perpendicular to each other. So therefore root of B1 square plus B2 square. So we will take mu naught by 4 pi into 2 by D cube into root of M1 square plus M2 square.